Now let's bring in Anthony Ruggiero, Senior Director of the Foundation for Defense of Democracy's Non-Proliferation and Biodefense Program. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So, reports of Iran disconnecting cameras at nuclear facilities, what are they trying to achieve here?
Well, it seems they're trying to pressure countries to not vote for the censure resolution. I think it's important for your viewers to understand that Iran has actually been reducing the access of the IAEA all the way back to February of 2021. And so this is another step in that process. I think the censure resolution is long overdue. Frankly, it should have been passed last year, but hopefully it will pass this week, and Iran will respond by allowing access to those facilities that they've denied so far.
Right, and the International Atomic Energy Agency board convening this week with the possibility of maybe censoring Iran at the UN. What is the significance of this? Is this a sign that maybe even the UN watchdog realizes the Iranians are evading inspections?
Right. So the IAEA has visited some of these sites, and what they have found is they've found traces of uranium, which indicates that Iran had in the past conducted experiments or other activities that they have not declared. I think some people will, including Iran and Iran supporters, may suggest that this is just historical information. But I think for your viewers, it's important to realize that that's just the smokescreen. It's really about Iran not answering the legitimate questions from the International Nuclear Watchdog. And frankly, it's also about the Biden administration and the E3 allowing this to go on for 18 months. At least of Biden's administration. It's good that they're pursuing the resolution now. Hopefully it's not too little too late, and hopefully it produces results that Iran complies with.
Right, and what else here is the U.S. strategy now that talks seem to have reached a dead end?
Well, that's the issue, is that the Biden administration has not yet embraced the pressure campaign. They've certainly dismissed it. It's quite ironic when they do that, because many of the people in the Biden administration were responsible for the original pressure campaign under the Obama administration. And so a lot of them have that experience. Hopefully they'll go back to that. The most dangerous path, I guess the most dangerous path is Iran going for a nuclear weapon that they're close to. The next most dangerous path is that we just accept the status quo and we allow Iran to continue to ratchet up pressure on us, on the United States, versus responding and making sure that the access the IAEA seeks, but then also reduces their nuclear program.
Right, and going back to this resolution that may be passed, what type of impact does that have in international forums or in general in kind of keeping Iran in check here when it comes to its nuclear program?
Well, the most recent example that was mentioned earlier is 2 years ago. I was in the Trump administration when that resolution was negotiated and produced results. Now, at that point, Iran had denied the access to the facilities, and then several months later, we sort of fast forward to today, that access has produced a lot of unanswered questions. Hopefully that this resolution would lead to that. Now, I will say that this resolution, the one on the table for this week, is weaker. When we see the draft, it's weaker than the one 2 years ago. And Iran is in a much better position because in the last 18 months, they've been allowed to use their leverage, their pressure, if you will, against the European, the E3 and the United States.
What is that leverage?
Well, the leverage they've used is, the nuclear escalation, the threatening to scuttle the talks, that seemingly is very important to the Europeans and the United States. Now, it seems we're pursuing a resolution without a real change in our policy. So it'd be good to hear from the Biden administration if they're shifting their approach, understanding that the deal is unlikely to happen in the near term. What comes after the resolution? I think that's the biggest question that we haven't really heard an answer from, either from the Biden administration or from the UK, France, and Germany.
All right, Anthony Ruggiero, Senior Director of the Foundation for Defense of Democracy's Non-Proliferation and Biodefense Program. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.